Yeah, so today we're having a Breaking the Bread initiative, which is basically breakfast, a meal shared against diverse communities. It's black leaders, white leaders, and other leaders specifically, intentionally talking about the issue of race in our community.
We're here today at Greater Mount Olive Baptist Church, and thank you, Pastor Ray Douglas, for allowing us your space today. We are here today to learn one another's names. We're here to learn one another's stories in the hopes that in the friendships that are birthed in these conversations, we can then start to make real changes and real differences where larger issues are concerned, like criminal justice reform, or even larger than that, racism or institutional bias. So we have invited faith and community leaders from all over Oklahoma City, and actually had some come in from Tulsa today.
And we have pastors, nonprofit organizations, lawyers, judges. It's very diverse, very encouraging, very hopeful.
I think all of us are aware of the fact today that racism is still alive, and it's a reality in our society. All of us must redirect our priorities, that we can come together as human beings, as we can come together as brothers and sisters and accept the fact that we are equal.
And I'm inspired to help. I'm energized to help. The team and the organization is totally involved and supportive, and we want more than anything, just what you described, Pastor Reed. We want equality. We want friendship. We want love. We want it to be real. We want us all to be together.
And so I'm excited that there are powerful institutions like the Oklahoma City Thunder and communities of faith and people of faith convening these special conversations. I want to affirm the importance of the work that you are doing. There is something better waiting for us in this country when it comes to fairness, when it comes to equality, when it comes to freedom, when it comes to eliminating racial bias. But to get there, we're going to have honest discourse. We're going to have to do some uncomfortable things. Thank you for being willing to be a part of this process.
As a table, but first of all, actually person to person, they are discussing these questions that have to do not just with racism, but by the wounds that are delivered in the processes of racism and institutional bias. I have layers of hope for this initiative. As a pastor, I want a state and a city that has so many Christians and churches around to put more skin and flesh on what we're calling the gospel. It can't just be about souls, it has to be about bodies, and when it's about bodies, then we can talk about the ways that our whole society is broken. As a citizen of Oklahoma City and as a voter, let's say, my hope is that these kinds of conversations allow us to make more policy changes and more legislative changes, but I know that it has to start with a change of the heart.
Like life, racial understanding is not something that we find, but something that we must create. And so the ability of blacks and whites to work together, to understand each other, will not be found ready-made. It must be created by the fact of contact. And when I read that, I thought that's what we're doing here today. I hope Mr. King would be happy with this effort.
My hope is, I believe relationships are the key to solving so many major problems in our city, especially when it comes to race. So my hope is that new relationships will be formed that are across different culture lines and start with relationship before we do anything else, and realize that we're all in this fight together for justice.
If you'd like to know more about the work of the Justice Circle, we have a Facebook page, the Oklahoma Justice Circle. You can go there, and there you can see all of our updated information and kind of keep abreast of all the different conversations that we're having, the activities that we're undertaking.